It's 8 a.m. on a Tuesday in July 1985. The alarm clock is completely irrelevant because the real internal clock of summer freedom has already jolted me awake. Fueling up for the day is a high-stakes, serious business. A massive bowl of sugary cereal is the only high-octane energy source required for the 12-hour marathon ahead. As that front screen door flies open, I step directly into the great unmapped wild. There are no schedules, no text messages, and absolutely no parental supervision until the sun goes down. The bright morning sun hits my face, making me squint with pure anticipation. The entire neighborhood looks like an open-world playground waiting to be completely conquered. My trusted steed is a chrome BMX bike outfitted with neon foam pads. It doesn't have a GPS navigation system, but it has absolute freedom built right into the handlebars. The very first order of business is gathering the local crew out on the sidewalk. A single wave is all it takes to signal that the Daily Council of Neighborhood Kids is officially in session. We don't need expensive gadgets or modern toys when a simple wooden stick can instantly become a sword. In the 80s, imagination transformed the mundane into something legendary. A small patch of dirt in the backyard serves as our creative canvas for the afternoon. We can build entire bustling empires out of nothing but loose soil in a single die-cast metal toy car. Checking my digital watch establishes our operational timeline for the day. We have exactly 10 glorious hours of total anonymity left before we have to answer to anyone. Sitting on the concrete curb with a melting popsicle is the ultimate mid-morning luxury. We eat fast, desperately trying to finish the sugar before it turns into a sticky mess on our hands. Riding at breakneck speeds down the asphalt pavement is how we constantly test our physical limits. There are no safety helmets in sight, just pure adrenaline and the wind whipping through my hair. Every neighborhood has its strictly forbidden zones, usually marked by a rusted fence or an intimidating sign. Crossing that boundary line is the ultimate test of playground bravery and status. We keep a close watch on the rival block from behind the safety of a massive oak tree. Scouting out their territory requires absolute stealth and a pair of plastic binoculars. A simple rainwater puddle on the street becomes an entire vast ocean for our paper boats. We study the miniature currents like seasoned naval captains mapping out a dangerous voyage. Standing proudly at the top of the driveway, I feel like the absolute king of the world. My kick scooter is parked nearby, ready for a high-speed escape if things go sideways. By mid-afternoon, extreme thirst sets in from running around in the heat. However, going inside to get a glass of water is a tactical error that must be avoided at all costs. The garden hose is our holy grail of hydration, offering metallic tasting, sun-baked water. It tastes better than any premium beverage on earth because it represents pure survival. Peering into the kitchen window from the outside is a highly dangerous gamble. If mom catches your eye, she might realize it's lunchtime and trap you inside for afternoon chores. We take a brief, quiet intermission on the cool grass to flip through a favorite comic book. It's a moment of necessary resting and planning before the heavy evening games begin. Fully refreshed and ready, I grab the plastic baseball bat resting against my leg. It's time to head down to the empty lot for a game where the rules are entirely made up on the fly. Coasting down the biggest hill in the neighborhood with my arms wide open is pure magic. It's the closest an 80s kid can possibly get to actual, unadulterated flying. Disaster strikes when my bicycle chain slips off the sprocket mid-ride. We don't call parents or roadside assistance. We fix the mechanical issue ourselves with a wrench and greasy hands. Sitting flat on a skateboard and coasting down the sidewalk is our version of extreme sports. The constant threat of a spectacular wipeout only makes the ride feel more thrilling. Static crackles over the plastic walkie-talkie as we coordinate our next strategic move. This is our primitive cellular network, and it works flawlessly within a strict 3-block radius. The neighborhood summon is a highly developed vocal art form. Cupping my hands, I yell across 3 backyards to call the rest of the pack together for a massive game of manhunt. A spectacular bicycle crash leaves me with a freshly scraped knee on the concrete curb. There's no crying aloud in front of the crew, just a quick, stoic inspection of the damage. The universal 1980s medical cure for any minor playground injury is simple. Rub some dirt on it. We don't have the time or the desire to stop the game for a full first aid kit. If the injury is truly catastrophic, we resort to the dreaded antiseptic bottle waiting on the porch steps. The fierce sting of that orange medicine is honestly worse than the actual fall. With a makeshift cloth bandana wrapped tightly around my wrist, I am fully recovered. We believe we are entirely indestructible, ready to jump right back into the action. Running across an open grassy field with a kite string in hand fills me with joy. The afternoon is slowly winding down, but our collective energy is still at an all-time high. The sky begins to shift into deep, warm shades of orange, pink, and purple. A sudden cool breeze hits the air, signaling that the golden hour of our daily freedom is closing fast. As the sun dips lower behind the houses, our shadows stretch out like long giants on the pavement. The clock is ticking loudly in our heads, and we all know exactly what comes next. Standing directly under the tall, unlit pole, I look up at the massive glass bulb. This inanimate object holds absolute, unquestioned power over every single kid living on the block. We gather around a wooden picnic table to count our remaining arcade coins. We need to strategically maximize every last minute of daylight before the ultimate curfew strikes. The carefree mood shifts instantly as we frantically toss our scattered toys into a plastic milk crate. The relaxed fun of the afternoon is rapidly replaced by a calculated tactical cleanup. Suddenly, the entire street seems to freeze in absolute anticipation. The music from my personal cassette player fades into the background as an ominous silence settles over the neighborhood. There it is, the unmistakable high-pitched buzz and faint orange flicker of the streetlight bulb above. The absolute law of 1980s neighborhood physics has just been officially activated. The streetlight is finally on, and the unwritten rules dictate an immediate response. You now have exactly 90 seconds to vanish from the face of the earth and get home. I slam my feet onto the bicycle pedals with an intense, overwhelming sense of survival panic. If my parents see that light glowing before I cross the threshold, I am grounded for a week. The high-stakes race against time is officially on as I sprint down the darkening sidewalk. My heavy canvas backpack bounces wildly against my shoulders with every frantic step. I fly up the concrete driveway like a professional racer, leaning hard into the sharp turn. The glowing yellow porch light of my house represents the final finish line of the night. There is absolutely no time to properly park my bike by the garage wall. I drop it directly onto the front lawn mid-stride because every single fraction of a second counts right now. Leaping up the wooden porch steps, 3 at a time, my hand lunges wildly for the front doorknob. My heart is beating completely out of my chest as I finally make contact with safety. The heavy screen door slams shut behind me with a loud, echoey crack that resonates through the house. I am inside, breathless but completely triumphant, having successfully beaten the curfew. Leaning my back against the closed door right next to the wall-mounted telephone, I let out a massive sigh. I made it home safe, navigating the strict laws of the neighborhood. Looking out the glass window pane, I see the lonely orange glow of the streetlight illuminating an empty street. The daily vanishing act of the neighborhood kids is officially complete. Sitting down at the kitchen table for a late-night snack, the comforting warmth of the house washes over me. The wild outdoor adventures of the afternoon feel miles away now. I kick off my dusty canvas sneakers by the front door, leaving a faint trail of dirt behind. My feet are completely exhausted from the day, but my childhood spirit is full. Resting quietly in my bedroom, the soft, familiar hum of the house takes over the night. We didn't have cell phones or internet, but we had a massive world of stories written in the dirt. As I drift off to sleep under the heavy patchwork quilt, I smile knowing the cycle repeats tomorrow. The screen door will fly open again, and the physics of the streetlights will be waiting for me.